This video is brought to you by Ex Officio Boxers. They are insanely comfortable and make your dick look amazing. Buy some, link in the description. Oh shit, guys! We're rich! We just hit the Bitcoin jackpot. What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about cryptocurrencies. I had a lot of people ask me what I think of the infamous cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, DogeCoin. There's a bunch of them now. Someone is going to win. That's going to be what's going to be interesting. Someone is going to win the Bitcoin war, and I think that will be when we crown our first trillionaire, is somewhere around that time period. So, anyway, a lot of people are probably going to see this video and think that I am really ragging on the Bitcoin, but I'm very hesitant when it comes to Bitcoin, but I want to say, first off, that I like it. It's a good idea. It is good overall. Only good things can come from Bitcoin's existence. Should you invest in Bitcoin? That's what I'm going to talk about. So, I like Bitcoin. Number one reason I like Bitcoin is because currency competition is very good. It's going to keep governments honest. There is a reason why China is shutting down Bitcoin. What's the word? Where they trade Bitcoins. Fuck, I can't think of the word. There's a reason why. It's because China manipulates the fuck out of their currency. They don't like the fact that Bitcoin exists because when you do shady bullshit and there's an alternative, all of a sudden people might stop using your currency. So there's a reason why China is shutting down all these Bitcoin exchanges. That's the word I was looking for. Bitcoin exchanges. This is good for every country. I mean, a lot of people meme on Trump for the whole China thing, but come on, it really is ridiculous what they do to the currency to keep, got to keep that manufacturing in China, push that currency down. So they don't like it when Bitcoin comes around and is looking pretty attractive. Another reason I really like Bitcoin is because it has the potential to be insanely efficient, more efficient than any other currency, because there is no middleman. There's no banks, there's no governments involved. Government by nature is just extremely inefficient. There's tons of red tape, tons of bureaucracy, tons of employees. Bitcoin doesn't have that. None of that. So it's just has the potential to be way more efficient. Now, that's not the case right now. We'll get into that in a minute. But potential, absolutely. So, another reason. It's a godsend for people that live in shit countries. A lot of South American countries, their currency is dog shit. Bitcoin and these other cryptocurrencies are great. It's a fucking great for them. They can start up their own little Bitcoin mining operation, and that is way more profitable than having to rely on their own currency, and way more stable in a lot of cases. As crazy as that sounds with how volatile cryptocurrencies are, you look at a country like Venezuela, socialist paradise, they're fucking literally killing animals in zoos to eat them. So, you live in a country like that, I don't care how volatile Bitcoin is, that shit looks pretty damn good in comparison. So, let's get into why I don't like Bitcoin, or why you should be hesitant. That's probably a better way of saying that. So, Bitcoin is not backed by anything. Now, I know, holy shit, I just said it, it's not backed by anything. Well, fiat currency. Hear me out. A lot of people in the comments right now, they're typing 1933, that's the gold standard in the fucking dollar. Ah! Listen. Think about it. All right, so the US dollar is not backed by anything officially. However, it is very much backed. And a lot of people don't want to think about this because it's mean, but the US dollar and many currencies are backed by might. Might makes right. It's one of my favorite sayings. And here's the thing. You think there's a reason why we've got like a fucking trillion military bases around the world? You think there's a reason why we get involved in just miscellaneously bombing brown people all around the world? You wanna know why? Other than just random bullshit politics? You wanna know a big reason why? the petro-dollar. Oil. We trade oil in US dollars. There's a reason why. It's because we start distributing freedom to all the motherfuckers that don't trade oil in US dollars. Now, as of recently, there's been some countries getting cute, not trading their oil in US dollars. Our boy Trump might have to let freedom ring on those people. It's brutal, it's mean, but it's the way it is. Read up on the petrodollar. There's a reason why we do the things we do. And this is something that I learned somewhat recently, because anybody with a brain looks at these wars that we get into and it's just like, dude, why are we doing this? This is just dumb. Like, obviously this is not going to work. And then you read into the petrodollar and all this shit, and you're like, oh, that's why. Well, it's shitty, but, you know, I like my shit to get here in 2 days when I order it on Amazon, so compromises, right? So, the US dollar, not backed by gold, not backed by anything tangible, but, well, yeah, it is backed by something tangible, but whatever. The fact that it's not backed by gold, it's irrelevant. It's backed by something, and that's all that matters. Okay, another reason why I like the normal currency over the cryptocurrency, and that is, it's physical. It exists. It's real. Like, I can pick this up and do shit with it, right? Now, I'm aware that we live in a credit card world now, and everything is not real like this, but in the case of a solar flare, what happens? What the fuck happens? Power goes out. What happens? What do you do? In the case of a solar flare, that could get real fucking messy, because solar flares can apparently fuck up hard drives and do all kinds of stuff. So the fact that this is an actual currency that exists, I realize that as time goes on and on, this will almost be like a rarity. Like, you'll be like some sort of caveman paying for something in dollars and in physical currency. But the fact that it exists is a strength for normal currency. Another reason why Bitcoin, not a huge fan of it. It's not a good currency. It's just fucking not. Listen, you ever buy shit with Bitcoin? You ever buy something with a cryptocurrency? It's slow and it has high transaction fees. Bitcoin is valuable because people say it's valuable. It's not valuable because it's a good product, because it's just not. Does Bitcoin do anything better than normal currency does? At this point, no. Will it in the future? Hopefully, that'd be great. I'm all for that, but it just doesn't. Other than hiding assets, avoiding taxes, and doing criminal shit, Bitcoin is really not good at all. Like, it's just not applicable in any real situation. Very slow transaction times, very high transaction fees. So that's the thing. It's valuable because people say it is valuable. It's not valuable because it is a good product. It's not valuable because it's something we need or something that is useful. Now, I know there's a lot of things that are like that, and a lot of people will say, you know, all currencies are like that and all investment things are like that, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. Now, a lot of you guys are probably watching this going, what the hell does this guy know about cryptocurrency and investing? He's just some 24-year-old dumbass. Why should I listen to this guy? And I agree. I completely agree with you, which is why when I make my investment decisions, I do them based off of principles, not off of my own knowledge. When I invest in something, almost 100% of the time it is because of principles, not because, oh, I'm so smart, nobody else sees this coming, I'm going to invest in this. No, it's not how I do it. Principles for the most part. Have made some decent plays here and there in 2016. You know, the universe gave us some gifts with Brexit and Trump, but for the most part, principle-based, boring as fuck. And here is one of the best principles, in my opinion, that you should invest with. And that is, invest in things that you know and things that you understand. Bitcoin, currency, that's really complicated. That is like wrapping your brain around what cryptocurrency is going to do to the economy as the future goes on. Like, who the fuck knows? Even the people that do know, don't know. And you fucking don't know. I fucking don't know. No one really knows. That's another lesson that I've kind of learned as I've gotten into this whole investing thing, is that no one knows shit. Like, no one knows anything. It's staggering. It's crazy. So, invest in what you know, what you understand. Let me give you an example. So, when you invest in something, you are basically saying, hey, I think this will be worth more in the future. So you have to determine a value on that thing. If you don't understand that thing, it's very hard to determine an accurate value on it. Bitcoin, insanely complicated, very hard for someone like me to determine a value on it. Another example, hair and makeup. I don't know anything about hair and makeup products, so me putting a value on that is very hard. Now, something I do understand, Tyson Foods. You look at a company like Tyson Foods, and even a dumbass like me can see how Tyson Foods is valuable. They feed the world. They feed the world. I can wrap my brain around that, right? I know. Oh, wow, Tyson. I wonder what they do. Like, you know, that's an easy idea. Another thing, Nestle. What do? They own water. They own water. And again, this is not investment advice. I don't know shit about Tyson Foods or Nestle in particular, but it's just invest in the things you know, and the things that you understand, and the things that you, at least you think you can accurately put a value on. If you don't understand it, you're not going to be able to put a value on it. Now on to the most important part of this video, and probably the number one investment principle in general, and that is to not invest in things you are emotionally attached to. Every single investment book, advice, web article you read will tell you that your human emotions are your number one enemy. You getting emotionally involved in any sort of investing, any sort of financial thing at all is the worst thing you could possibly do. Absolute worst thing you could possibly do. And with something like Bitcoin or any of these like really hyped companies, you know, like people, like Tesla is a really good example, right? Like people just really want Tesla to be like a thing, and I'm not saying they're gonna fail, but like there's so many people that really want that to be a thing that they will just blindly just throw money because they're like, I really want to see this car happen, and it's gotten nuts, it's gotten crazy. And when you do that, your brain, you're not thinking, you're giving into the hype. So you can't invest in things that you're emotionally attached to, and this is hard. I've almost done it myself. And with something like Bitcoin, let's be honest, Bitcoin is just cool, man. It's just cool, and I want to see it happen. I do. I want to believe. I want to see it happen. I think it'd be cool as fuck. But you're too close to it. Now let me give you an example of something that I almost invested in, that I'm a fan of, a huge fan of. But I ultimately didn't, despite the fact that I think the game is going to do well. I'm excited as fuck for the game, and that game is Crowfall. If you look at my YouTube channel, got a lot of Crowfall videos. Got an affiliate link for Crowfall. Sign up for that shit. Link in the description. Get 5% off. I'm on the fucking Crowfall Kool-Aid, man. I am stoked. I really like what they're doing over there. I really like the developers. I think they've got a good idea. I think it's going to be a pretty successful niche game that will do well long term because they're appealing to an audience that's not being appealed to. Excited for the game. Crowfall, or Artcraft Entertainment, has sold equity. They've done funding rounds where they've sold some equity, and I thought about buying some because I'm like, wow, this game, I really think that this game is going to do well and have a nice, stable niche audience. Like, I think they're going to have a pretty decent game, right? So I thought about investing in it, right? Makes sense. I feel like I'm pretty smart when it comes to video game shit. I've predicted many a games, the trajectory of many a games, Lawbreakers, You can just look. I mean, I've got a whole history of that shit. I've been wrong about some. I'm not gonna lie, I've been wrong about some, but I've been right about most. And there's a reason why it says profit on my fucking Twitter bio. And anybody that's been watching, you know I've been right about some shit. So, Crowfall. Why didn't I invest in Crowfall? I think the game's gonna do great. I'm too close. Too close to it. The potential for me to be emotional, like I just can't I can't be neutral. There's no way I can be neutral, so fuck it, no. Not happening, no. Too close. So, anyway, to wrap up this video, the main takeaway is don't invest in shit that is valuable because people say it is valuable. There's a reason why I wore this shirt. This is an Enron shirt. This is the classic case of people investing in something because other people say it is valuable. Smart people say it is valuable. Tons of smart people said Enron. I mean, fuck, man. So you gotta use your brain and you gotta think about the actual product. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people forget about. A lot of people forget that investing in something is investing in a company or in a lot of cases a product. And is that a viable product? Is that thing gonna actually make money? Tech companies are a perfect example of this. There are so many tech companies and so many apps and so many social platforms where the concept is, all right, let's get a shitload of users and then we'll worry about making money later. And they get a shitload of users, just leech money fucking 24/7, they can never monetize. And it's never monetized. Well, that's happened like a million times, and they just keep getting funded over and over again. It's bananas. It is bananas to me. So, I'm getting a little off topic here, but don't invest in something just because other people say it is valuable, because that is #1 way to go to Enron town. It really is. So, anyway, to wrap this video up in one quote, one of my favorite quotes, whenever there's a gold rush, don't invest in gold. Invest in pickaxes and shovels. That's how I play this thing. Let me know what you think about cryptocurrencies in the comments down below. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.